Hey guys, it's Wednesday, so we've got another edition of our Ridge Kids Wednesday videos. And I'm Mr. William, and I'm doing the video today. And today we're going to be talking about peace. Now, if you remember, we've been learning about what exactly are the fruits of the Spirit. And the scripture tells us the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So we want to be making sure that those fruit are in our lives, so that way people can see us and they would see and they would say, you know what? We're going to call out somebody right now. We're going to call out Carter Knight. Okay? So Carter Knight has been baptized at our church, and he is a believer in God. And Carter, I hope you're watching this, and so I hope you're smiling, because Mr. William is talking about you, Carter. And so Carter is a Christian, and he wants to have these fruit of the Spirit in his life. So people want to know Carter, and they want to say, you know that Carter Knight? He has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And so when we think about Carter, we would think, man, he's a peaceful person. He's a kind person. He's a gentle person. He has self-control. And so that's what it means to have the fruit of the Spirit, is that when we think about that person, do we think about those things? And so tonight we're going to talk about peace. So Carter, I hope you pay attention. And Colsian, I know y'all are right there watching side by side, so y'all pay attention to what we're about to say, okay? So, peace that we're talking about. And what is peace? What is this peace that Jesus is talking about? Well, let's look here in John 14, verse 27. And this is Jesus speaking. He says this, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled or fearful." John 14:27. Now that's our scripture memory verse for this week, okay, guys? So let's work on it real quick. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled or fearful. John 14:27. Well, you know what? It says right there that Jesus gives us peace, and that it's His peace that He gives us. So the fruit of the Spirit is peace. It comes from Jesus. It's Jesus' peace. And it says, don't be fearful and don't be troubled. But you know what? There's a lot of stuff that we can be troubled about. Bad weather. Maybe your friend's not always treating you nice. Maybe your older brother or sister or younger brother or sister doesn't always treat you nice. Or maybe you get left out sometimes. Or maybe the situation is just something that's completely out of your control. And there's lots of things that happen, kind of like this pandemic. All of us were living life, and then all of a sudden, now we have to stay inside and stay away from other people so that we don't all get sick. And so that can be kind of scary. But Jesus says, don't be scared, and don't be fearful, and don't let your heart get troubled. Well, how can He say that? Well, it reminded me of this other story in the Bible from Matthew 8, verses 23 through 27. Okay? So Jesus and His disciples were on a boat, and Jesus was asleep. And out of nowhere, a big storm came. We're talking big clouds, lots of rain, and it says that the boat was getting swamped. The water was coming and rushing in, and Jesus was asleep. And the disciples woke Him up and said, Master, we're gonna drown. And He stood up and He said to the wind and the waves, He said, why are you afraid? He said that to His disciples. Then He got up and He rebuked the wind and the waves and the sea, and there was a great calm and a great peace fell. You know what, guys? Jesus is so much bigger than anything that we're going through. And just like Jesus was bigger than the storm that the disciples found themselves in on the boat, Jesus is bigger than whatever's going on in your life. So whether you're nervous about quarantine or about your older brother or sister or younger brother or sister or anything at all, Jesus tells us that He has the power, that He is in control, and He gives us that peace, and He wants us to live a life of peace. Peace from the Lord. So guys, our challenge this week is for you to live a life of peace and to find ways that you can let Jesus be your peace. Okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and don't forget, we want to see your work that was mailed to you. So finish your color sheets, do your worksheets, and then send us pictures of it so that we can post it on social media. Guys, we love you, and we can't wait until we can be with you again. Have a good night.